Hey everybody, hi, happy Monday. I am doing another Make It Monday live on my page today, and I'm really excited about the stamp set that I've chosen. We're using sweet strawberry. So earlier I teased with a bowl of strawberries that I was going to be using strawberry themed stamp set. This is in the January to June mini catalog, and it does carry over into the new annual catalog, which goes live tomorrow. Very exciting stuff there. But this is another fun and easy card that I just grabbed right out of the catalog, and I dissected it. I looked at a couple of things on it that I thought were kind of unique and different, and I thought this would be kind of fun to show. So there's going to be a little bit of learning tonight, hopefully, for you, and maybe you're going to find something new that you didn't realize you could do before. So this is going to be another really awesome card, and I'm glad that you're watching with me on a Monday. And we are going to get working on this. I'm going to switch right over to my workspace. Okay, so here is, as promised, the Sweet Strawberry stamp set, and here is our card. This is a really cute card. Now in the catalog, it's on page 44. My poor catalog is falling apart. I've been going through the pages so much with this. It's been active since January, so I've been constantly pushing through the pages. But anyway, on page 44, this is the sample right here, and it's probably one that you would have overlooked because it doesn't look that, I mean, it's okay, I guess, right? But when I put this together, I thought, man, it's so much cuter as I've made it. And I think if you saw it in person, it would be even cuter than as you see it on the screen. So this is a really fun card. The Sweet Strawberry stamp set is photopolymer. So this is one of the clear stamps, and it's a two-step stamping. So as you're going to watch, I'm going to do some outline and some shading with this stamp set. And just a little fun fact, so as they come here now, on the back of this sheet where the stamps, you know, they stick on here really nicely. So here's like a leaf stamp, and you can put it back on. You know, you can see exactly where this is going to go. But going forward, the new stamps in the new catalog, they're going to change this up a little bit. So instead of having the images on this sheet where your stamps go, they're actually going to be in the case. So it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to still be able to, you know, so let's say that this was attached to the case. You'd still know that you're going to put this stamp back here if you know, wanted to make sure you had all of them. But there's going to be a little bit of a different look going forward, which is kind of neat. So Sweet Strawberry stamp set. I've been using the thank you greeting from this a lot. I just love this font. I found that it's perfect for tons of cards. So of all the stamps, I've used the thank you stamp and the hello there. Actually, more than even the strawberries. This is a good one for sentiments. So I'm going to set that aside, and my little catalog, my sad little catalog is all beat up. You can get this stamp set with the Strawberry Builder Punch. So we're going to be using this a ton today because we're cutting out a whole bunch of strawberries and some flowers. And I hope that you've noticed this little, I don't know if I can get that to kind of show you this little curly ribbon here. Isn't that adorable? So this is the part of the card that I thought was a lot of fun. And so I wanted to show you how to make little curly ribbons for your cards, because that's really sweet. We're going to start really basic today. And I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to show you just the basic cutting. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Granny Apple. And I'm going to cut it for a card base. So I'm just going to line it up here in my paper trimmer. So along the top, this is the cutting well, I guess you might say. And we've got inches going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to come over at 5.5. That's exactly half of the 11-inch length. And I'm going to just cut it with my dark blade. And now I have 2 card bases, just like that. And now I'm going to score my my card base, and I'm going to bring it over to 4 1/4. So again, this is half of 8.5, and I'm not going to use the dark blade this time. The dark one is the one that cuts. I'm going to use this light one here, and this is the scoring blade, and that's going to, you can kind of see how easily it's going to bend now into my my card position. So I've been using my trimmer a lot recently to score my card bases as well, and I found that when I do that, I'm just gonna crease with my bone folder here, I don't have to flip them out around and do the inside again, because it provides a really nice crease on the inside. So here's my card base, and that was just step one, super easy, make a card base, right? So we've got the Granny Apple card base here. And then we're going to do a little die cutting next. So I'm going to bring in the Big Shot. And I store my, my plates right in my Big Shot, so I'm going to pop these out here real quick. So this card has 2 die cuts, and we are using 2 separate dies. We are using the Ornate Layers for the Granny Apple Green. So this piece right here is the biggest of the Ornate Layers, as you can see in my very messy and unorganized pile of dies here. And then you can see in the stitched rectangles, very nice and organized. Normally I go through and I put the magnetic sheets in with my dies so that they are held in position and super nice and neat. And I haven't gotten to all of them, but we're going to use the large, actually it's the second largest stitched rectangle. So we're going to go ahead and die cut those real quick. I'm going to put them right through my Big Shot. So I've got my sandwich set up for my base plate, my cutting pad, like the second little shim plate, a clear plate, and then I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to angle it just a little bit. So I'm not putting it in straight like this. I'm putting it in at a little bit of an angle so that as it comes through the machine and rolls through here, it's not going to get a whole bunch of force at once. It's going to like tiptoe in. So let's see if I can get this going here in this direction. So I'm just going to crank it through. I'm going to pop at the end probably. Sometimes I push down on it to make it not pop so much. So, and my plate here is super warped. I really need to get that flattened back out again. But here is our first piece. It's a little bit rectangle stitch, so it's got, hard to see probably, but it's got teeny tiny rectangles in it. And that's the white. Now this frame right here could be used on another card. So it's got stitching along the outside edges as well. So that's something that could be used if you had a mind to do so. And next I'm going to grab out the Granny Apple Green and the other die here from the Ornate, what was it called? Ornate Borders? Ornate something. And again, I'm going to angle it just a little bit, sandwich up my plates here, and get it cranking through. And almost, there it goes. So not too loud. Let me get this out of the way now. It's a little awkward, but I just want to show you, if you're not familiar with the Big Shot, you know, how easy it is to do these fun little things. So again, you've got a nice little frame here, which could be used for another project. And then this one has all these little teeny tiny holes, and not everything came out of those little teeny tiny holes. And you're going to see over here on my plate, it's really hard to see in the camera. I can see all these little tiny pieces of green. It's almost like super tiny confetti. All the little holes that were in this this die to make all these little holes. And I'm just going to go through real quick with my little scrubby brush, and I'm just going to kind of assist them along here so that they will come out. And just a little cleanup here. We've got lots of confetti in the craft room from this green little project, but it's pretty easy to get all these out. It can be a little tedious, but if you leave a few in, that's okay too, right? I can see the confetti going all over the place here as I'm doing this, like right here. My floor is a disaster. I need to come through and vacuum at some point, but it's like paper shrapnel everywhere. But anyway, that's my my little explosion mess here with my funfetti Granny Apple Green little dots and things. I know some people like to put these in cards and make people open them, and then they have a big mess when they're all said and done. So here we have our few pieces here, and we're going to do a little bit of stamping right here on this the white one. So this is kind of our background stamping. I'll bring the card back in so you can see. So I've got the leaf and the flowers is what this stamp looks like. And we're going to do kind of tone on tone here with the Granny Apple Green ink. I'm going to go ahead and this is going to have a little bit of stamping off. So we want a little bit lighter. So I'm going to ink it up, stamp it off on a piece of paper, and then I'm going to catch the top half of my white paper, and then I'm going to stamp off again. I'm actually going to rotate this. I find it easier to rotate. And then I'm going to stamp down here toward the bottom. So you can see that I've got kind kind of one in the top corner, one in the bottom corner, and as we cover the card up with all of the other things, you can just see the edges of it peeping out. Now while I have the Granny Apple open here, I'm also going to grab a sponge, and I'm still using my regular sponges. I know there's these new blending brushes and they're awesome, but sometimes I like to just grab my sponge, and I'm starting in the middle, which I know is going to be the most covered of all of my area, and I'm just going to add a little bit of some sponge here. And again, the middle part's going to be mostly covered, so you're not going to see a ton of this sponging, and that's probably good right there. So I'm going to stop with that, put my Granny Apple away, my little sponge away, and that's just like a sixth of a wedge of a sponge, so they go really far. And I put my little punched piece of coordinating paper and the name on it. So this is the only color I will use that sponge in, and that's how I store my sponges. So we've got that started. I'm going to go ahead and glue these together. This is like the flattest part of our card. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some Tombow on the back of the white here, and this goes right on top of the green die cut. And this, it fits really close to the sides, but there's just a little bit of room top and bottom because they're not really designed to fit matchy-matchy and go together, but it does work really nicely. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and put this right on my card front. I'm going to make sure I'm opening it the right way so we don't have any oopsies and put things on upside down and backwards. So this is going to go right here. So we've got the green on green, but just that nice little effect of like the lacy overlay here. And then the white. And I'm going to just do a little rubbing here from the back and make sure that it's stuck down there pretty good. Okay, so there we go. So now we're going to go on to the really fun stuff. We are going to start with the strawberries. So like I said earlier, this is two-step stamping. So we've got a shaded strawberry part and we've got the outline part. And here's my paper I'm going to do some stamping on. And here is our trusty punch. So I'm just going to open that up. And I've got Cherry Cobbler for the outline. And I've got Real Red for the strawberries themselves. So I'm going to start with the red here. And there's a method to my madness, but I need 3 of these strawberries. So I'm going to just go ahead and stamp 3 of these. And you're going to see that there's like parts that you're thinking, wow, she didn't stamp that very well. There's like shadowy parts there. They're not completely covered, but that's by design. It's supposed to have some high and low shading, so it's not supposed to fill in completely. It kind of looks like it's washed a little bit, which I think is really kind of a cool unique thing. I'm going to close up my red so I don't accidentally use the wrong one here while I'm doing the outline. So on this one, I decided to do the background first and then stamp this little outline over top. So the photopolymer helps you to line things up so you can kind of do your best and get, bring this up here a little bit so you can see. It's just a little bit of an outline and a few of the seeds really is what you're going to see here. So I'm just going to go through and finish up my 3 little strawberries here. And those turned out pretty good. This one was the one that was the most off. But I found that on my first card, I was off quite a bit. And it was, you know, first card, I practiced with them. So it's okay because it still looks really cute. So I stamped these this way on purpose because this is a builder punch, which means there's more than one thing you can do with this punch. You can do the strawberry, the leaves, you've got flowers, you've got the strawberry stem. So I'm going to put my paper in this way, and I'm going to punch, oh no, Julie's going to put it in this way actually, because I'd like to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put my paper in this way so you can see that I'm getting the shape of the strawberry right here where it's going to cut out, and I'm going to squeeze that together, and here's my first little strawberry. Just like that. So then I can rotate my paper. I'm actually going to turn it around. It's going to be easier for me to go this way. So I can slide my paper in, and I can do another one right here. And even though I'm cutting out extra parts and pieces, you can see from my paper here, I'm not wasting a ton of paper by cutting out all of these different images that I don't need right now. I just want the strawberries. So here's my last strawberry. And all the little parts and pieces. You want to make sure you're always getting, with your builder punches, every little piece comes out, because there's a lot of little scraps here that get punched, and you don't want them to get stuck in the mechanism, because then it doesn't work. It'll get jammed up. So here's my little strawberries. I got 3 of those, and I'm going to get rid of my scraps here that I don't need. And we're going to move on to the stems. So here's, again, two-step stamping for the stems. So we've got an outline in another color to fill in. And this time I've got Old Olive and Garden Green. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this. This is interesting. This is basically a pretty new stamp pad for me, and I didn't actually put all of this ink in here. The first time I opened it, I kind of wondered why it had leaked so badly into the cap, and as I opened it today, I realized that the actual foam pad, I'm going to lift this up a little bit, the foam pad right here is not as glued down as it should be. So they glue these foam pads down into the top of this before they fill them up with ink, and my pad got loose, and it hit the top of this when it's upside down. The pad came off and left all this extra ink here. So I'm going to try maybe to hot glue that in there, see if that works. Because it's kind of a mess right now, and I didn't realize that I was having issues with this. But anyway, fun fact, that's just a really weird thing that has never happened to me before with an ink pad. If you get ink pads like this, or you have any problems with your products, you do have 90 days to let your demonstrator or the company know that you're having some issues and you need to get those corrected, because they will replace items for you if something like that's defective. So I'm going to start this one. I'm going to start with the outline, I think. I did this earlier and I liked the outline part better. I'm going to do the opposite way. I'm going to stamp this way now and go up. So here's the outline, and this is in Garden Green. So I'm going to stamp the 3 little stems for my strawberries, first in the Garden Green, and then I'm going to very carefully try to not undo my Old Olive stamp pad. And this is the shade part, so I'm just going to go right over top, and I'm going to lift this up so you can kind of see the shading has been filled in there. It's like instant coloring when you do the 2-step stamping, because you're doing the outline and then you're just putting in some instant color. So here's my little stems, and I like the fuzziness of it. It almost looks like it's been colored with colored pencils or crayons. It's really kind of unique. Not sure if I'm real happy with my Old Olive stamp pad though. That's kind of crazy, right? Okay, so let's see if I did this right. So basically I wanted to be able to go this way with it this time. So here is my first little leaf. So I'm going to punch this out and get all my little parts and pieces out. And my leaf got stuck in there. Here it comes. Okay, so there's one, and here's all my scraps. And we're going to try this again. We're going to do this one. And I probably should have started my stamping the other way and gone up. There it goes. Okay, that one is good. So I got 2. And now I've got this one. And this one might be a little bit more challenging because I didn't give myself a ton of paper. Like I said, I should have started the other way. But I'm going to get this in here. I'm going to line this up just right and hold it in place just for a second. And punch. Okay, there we go. All right, I got it. Okay, so here's my 3 little stems with all my little scraps now. So these are going to go right on my strawberries, and I'm going to pop them on right now. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the top of my strawberry and put my little stem on here. And I'm going to do that for each one of these just because if I don't do this right now, I will probably lose these little green papers in my craft room and have to start all over again. So you know how that goes, right? I spent, before I decided to make this card earlier today and to show this tonight, and I spent like 15 minutes looking for this punch in my craft room. I felt like it was like the Where's Waldo. I knew I had it, I just couldn't find it. So anyway, here's my little strawberries. Aren't they cute? I told you guys you might want strawberries before this night is over. All right, I'm going to set those aside, and we are going to work on next our little flowers. So there's a little flower punch here, and in the case there's actually 2 sizes of flowers. So you can see there's a bigger one and then there's a smaller one. The smaller one is the one that fits the punch. So if you're using the bigger one, it's not going to fit in the punch. So this is great for just stamping straight on paper without the intention of punching it out. So we've got the smaller of the flowers here, and I came up with Crushed Curry and Daffodil Delight. as my best guess as to how they made this card. Now let's see if I can do this a little bit better this time. So if I am going to put my paper in here this way without wasting all of it, I want to stamp the bottom. So I'm going to stamp on the bottom, and I'm going to do the outline first. And I'm doing this in the crushed curry. I need 6 of these, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm leaving some room in between. Hopefully it's enough room. 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 of those in the crushed curry. That's the outline. And I'm going to come back through now with the Daffodil Delight. And we're just going to stamp right over top of them and try to get them as matched up as we can. Oh, I did really good on the second one. I'm going a little quick. You know, I don't want to take too long to line them up. So some of them, the first one was really off. Oh man, just the first one was off. I guess that was like my practice one. This one's a little bit off, but the rest of them I filled in really nicely, so I'm very happy with them. So hopefully now I can get them all punched out and lined up correctly. So again, these are just like little white scraps that I had in my craft room. So there's one. And I can angle this a little bit to just try to fit the right shape of this little 5-petal flower. And I need, like I said, we need 6 of these. There's a bit of that going on, but that's okay. These are super cute. Even if you're just doing a card and you need little flowers. That's what's nice and versatile about the builder punches. You can do a lot more than just one thing. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with builder punches, which is nice. And I'm down to the last one. I'm going to trim this up a little bit because I don't want that edge to get really jammed into my punch. So here is the last one. Trying to get that lined up. I did it. Okay, good. Phew. I hope you're all breathing with me. Breathe with me at home here. Okay. So here's my 6 little flowers. Look at how cute they are. I love them. So fun fact, do I have 6? Yeah, that's 6. I thought I didn't have 6. In my yard right now, I have little wild strawberries growing, and I'm super excited. So I was checking them out today. Little wild strawberry flowers are kind of the size, but they're definitely white with a yellow center. So these are not realistic strawberry blossoms, but they are super cute on our card. So that's the important thing. Super cute. All right, so we are basically down to figuring out, oh, we need to do our sentiment. I have a paper somewhere for the sentiment, which says, "That was so sweet of you." And I just have a little 1-inch piece of paper. We're going to trim it up a little bit. Let's stamp the sentiment here while we're stamping. And I'm going to keep this more toward the right-hand side. And that lined up really nicely, so that's good. And I did that in the Real Red. And then I determined that there's like a little bit of a curve almost to this sentiment. It's not quite like a flag completely. So I'm just going to curve it a little bit. So I just took my scissors and did like a little sweepy curve. And I think that's kind of how they had it on the card. And that's different. I don't think I've ever done that before. I flag things so often in you know, the pointy or the indented little flagging. This is kind of neat. It almost looks like a little bit of a circle punch hit that. And that was just a real quick swoop with the scissors. And something I should have done before I glued this down, and I didn't, but I saw in the catalog that they kind of edged just the right side of their sentiment piece, and they edged, I'm using a blender pen here, this is the dark Real Red. They actually edged on my other, and I did it on this one before I glued it down, they edged this piece right here. You can kind of just see a little bit of red. But I've already glued this one, and I am not going to put a red marker on there, so this one will not have that little edging. But forgot that step earlier. This is live, so, you know, things just happen in the craft room like they happen. We're going to curl some linen thread next. So this is the linen thread. This comes in a spool now, which is already kind of curly, right? Like you can see, it's all wound up. But if you take your bone folder and you curl this like you're curling ribbon for making for some Christmas presents or birthday presents, you can kind of see it's getting a little bit more curly. So the more you do this, the curlier it gets. And then sometimes I feel like I'm straightening it completely. So you just kind of have to let it do its own little thing here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut a little piece off, because I'm gonna be putting these on the card just in little tiny sections. So I'm gonna grab, without cutting any, it's just easier to hold the whole thing here without trying to like hold just like 2 or 3 inches that you really need. And I'm gonna curl this up a little bit again and see if I can get a good curl in here. So this is something that, oh, there's a really cute curl. Look at that. This is something that you just need to work with a little bit and be patient. Curls don't happen just every second. That's a good curl right there. I don't know if you can tell. That's just super cute. I was having fun with this earlier. It's like, oh wow, this is really neat how they just added these little curly things here. So kind of viney looking, right? And but in a natural curly kind of a setting here. So let's see how this guy's going. He's going a little bit. We're going to take him. And like I said, you just need like the smallest little pieces. And they're going to go on the card kind of similar to that. But that's how you're going to curl your linen thread. I mean, it comes in a spool, so it has the tendency to curl. But also it could be, you could use it straight if you're using it. But it's certainly not super curly until you hit it with that bone folder a few times, and it will curl it up a little bit. So we're on to final assembly now here, and we are going to use some dimensionals, not all the dimensionals. I don't know if you guys watched my card last week. I was using the dimensionals like a crazy woman. Like it called for so many dimensionals, and I was like hyperventilating because there was just so many. And I don't like to use a ton. I like to use some, but I'm like a little thrifty with them. And I just wanted to make sure that, I wasn't going to go crazy with them. So this one, 4 of these little flowers are going to get stuck down straight and flat. And then 2 of them are going to have mini dimensionals. And then the sentiment has 2. And then each of the strawberries is perfectly fine with just 1. So I was like, okay, this is not a ton of dimensionals. I can handle this tonight. This is good. We're not going crazy. Now, before I put all of these things down on the card, I'm actually going to attach my little curly cues here that we made. So just like the sample card, I'm just kind of like lining it up a little bit similar to how they had it. And I'm going to attach mine with the tear and tape. If I can find the end of it here. Just a teeny tiny little piece. You're going to tear that off. I love this stuff. And I'm going to put this right here. So you're catching the end of it here and leaving the rest of it to be curly and loose. So it's all you need is the end. And the only thing you need to be mindful of is that wherever you've got the tape, you want to make sure that eventually something's going to cover over it so you don't see, this tape. This is the magic behind the scenes, right? So you don't want people to see the tape. You want people to see the things that go over top of it. Like here's your strawberries, just like this. See, so you're going to make sure, and you can do a dry fit if you're doing this at home and you're just not confident. Do the dry fit and kind of figure out where these are going to go first. But they're going to go in that kind of area. I'm going to go ahead and put my sentiment down at the top here because that really helps me to figure out where my strawberries need to go. I noticed on the card in the catalog they had the edge of this over onto the green a little bit, which I thought was cute. It wasn't just, flush white on white. So this is going to come over a little bit here. You can really see the red edge of that one. So that's very nice. And then they also put down a few of these flowers flat. So I'm just going to kind of place them around here a little bit and decide how I want to glue them. So I'm good getting them ready to be glued down. This little bit of yellow with this green and red just really makes the card super cute too, I think. So this one's going to peek over here. I'm kind of trying to mimic how I did it earlier. This is one of those where no two will ever be the same because it's really hard to line things up, perfect. These are homemade cards. They're supposed to each be a little bit different. A little bit of differences here. And then this guy's kind of down here hanging out a little bit. Now I noticed on my strawberries that this guy has like a smudgy on the end. So I'm going to put him up top, I think, because then I'm going to cover him over a little bit with, yes, these guys will cover right over. So I'm going to take the dimensional off of that. And now you could take this extra tape off if you wanted to, but you certainly don't have to. I mean, it's holding down the ribbons. If you wanted to take the tape off of there, you could. And I'm going to put this guy right here. And then I'm going to just add the rest of my strawberries on and angle them just kind of a little bit creatively, keeping in mind that I want to cover up where I have my tape. So that's the behind the scenes cover up stuff here. And then I'm going to put this one right here, I think. So he's going here. And now I have just these little tiny 2 flowers with dimensionals on them. And they put one up here toward the top. And they kind of tucked it underneath their sentiment a little bit. So I guess I'll do suit here. So one up there. And then this guy went down toward the bottom. And we're going to tuck it right like down in here. And here is our sweet little card. Look at that. It is really cute, right? So this was the first one that I did earlier. So you can see very, very similar 2 cards. But if you look long enough, you're going to see a little bit of differences on them. And then on the one I did earlier, I put in a white insert because I do like to add a white insert when I have a colored card base. And I did one more punch of the strawberry and the little stem, and I added that into the corner here because I thought that was really cute. So that's my little sweet strawberry card. Super cute, right? Okay, so let's switch back over to me. Hi. So hopefully this recorded well, and you guys got to see me put together this card with the sweet strawberry stamp set and the punch. Really cute and fun. This one was like a little bit more involved, had a little bit more going on with it, and I was like a little nervous going into it today, going, okay, I gotta stamp a lot, I gotta punch a lot, I gotta do a lot of things. I hope this ribbon curls on me. I wasn't sure if the ribbon was gonna curl or not. But it worked out pretty well, and I think it's an adorable little card, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and maybe it's going to inspire you to get out your stamps and make something really cute too. So I am thinking that I have 2 of these cards right now, and I need to share one with somebody. So if you are watching this and you enjoyed my video, just do a little comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what your strawberry thoughts are. So anybody that comments or likes or shares this video, I'm going to do a giveaway, and I'm going to pick one person, and I'm going to mail you one of these cards. So go ahead and drop a comment, share this video, let me know if you enjoyed it, and that's it for today. So come back and see me next Monday for another Make It Monday. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.